and got suspended from Twitter today.
Suspended?
Suspended from Twitter for some sort of a post.
I felt like he was trying to get suspended because he was saying some wild shit for like the last 6 months or something.
Well, I think, he's a sensitive fella and he likes I don't understand why like really smart people want to get into like entanglements online like that, like these exchanges and why they antagonistic things. He's making points, but like one of them, like here's one of them that I disagree with, and I love Jordan. Let me just preface that. He's a wonderful person. I love him as a human being. I really do. I like him a lot, and I respect him. I think he's a brilliant man. I don't always agree with him. And here he was like talking about this cover of Sports Illustrated. Right. And there was a girl on the cover of Sports Illustrated that's large. Right, she's a sport. She's a bikini model, but she's a large bikini model.
Like how large are we talking?
She's not small.
Okay.
but she's very pretty. Okay. And he says, "I'm sorry, like not beautiful." Like he puts that in a tweet. Okay, aren't you busy?
See, that's the thing is, I feel like he's kind of fallen victim to something that he was used to be against, and it's like,
what's that?
Because you don't have to put. Because I feel like our generation forgets that like you can't fight every battle. You have a limited mental and emotional resources, and so you don't have to put energy in you don't have to put so much energy into things that you hate or disagree with.
Right.
You should put most of your energy into things that you support.
Yes.
Right. So it's like because nothing comes out of you saying that.
That's very wise.
You know what I mean?
Call him.
Well, I don't know if I'm ready to argue with a man like that.
You are. What you just said is correct. It's not that he's incorrect that he does not find that overweight woman attractive. The problem is not that. The problem is expressing it in this way where you say, like, matter of fact, not beautiful. You could say, hey, I don't prefer women that are morbidly obese. That's not my thing. You could say that. But I like to say not beautiful, like, okay.
And I already know that about him, right? But my point is, somebody of his intellect, I feel like it's already enough people online going, this bitch is fat or she ain't
right.
Right? It's like I don't need that from you. I need the higher thoughts that only you're capable of producing.
That's a good point.
I don't need you calling bitches fat on Twitter.
I think he's trying to push back against the woke narrative, and he thinks the woke narrative that like fat shaming is bad, and you're not supposed to look at things for what they really are, but look at things through the cultural lens of wokeness, where you kind of pretend things are different, and men can get pregnant.
But that's what we were talking about earlier, right? Where it's like that's you getting, and I'm not judging him for it. It happens to the best of us. But that's you getting caught up in trying to win the battle and lose sight of the war.
Well, here's also the problem. That girl is beautiful. She's beautiful. Like, look at her face. Like, show a picture of her face. Oh, yeah, she's fucking beautiful.
Oh, she is beautiful. Yeah.
She's beautiful.
And she's not huge.
No, she's not morbidly obese.
But he's saying,
I said morbidly obese, but I wasn't really talking about her. I was really like using.
But he's
her as an
saying
example.
she shouldn't be on the cover of the swimsuit issue of Sports.
Right. There's another woman. There's like different levels of women. He says, sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that. Like, she's definitely beautiful. She's just overweight. But there's another girl that's in the same magazine. You don't have to show it. That's a lot bigger. And then there's other ones online that are bigger. It's like there's this thing to have like overweight models, and some people get angry at it. And that out of all the things that people push back against, that's the one.
That's weird to me.
I like it when a comic does. It's funny.
If you got something funny to say,
it's a funny premise. Like Christina P, she's got a fucking funny bit about it. But there's also like, who cares?
Yeah. Also, there's mad dudes that love chicks that size.
For sure.
Yeah, but
for sure. Skinny guys look like they do heroin.
But it's also like it's like, again, you're one of the world's premier intellectuals, and it's like this ain't. I don't need you. I don't need that from you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's like if I got a chance to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, like I'm not gonna be like, hey, do you think this girl is fat? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
So that's weird. It's weird to me.
You don't want to ask him about that. You want to ask him about the cosmos, right? You want to ask him about what he knows about and that he's passionate about. It's him pushing back against the woke narrative, and I think you're right. And I think part of the problem is guys like him, they read Twitter, and they read YouTube comments, and I don't think that shit's healthy for you. And I
he
think
he didn't
when
used to
you
be
do
so
that,
emotional.
right? Well, I think also that was part of him getting off the benzodiazepine. That was a real problem. Like he was hooked on that stuff, and he had to go through a serious detox, and it really fucked him up. And he talks very openly about it. It was very like physically difficult for him to get off of that. So maybe that made him more emotional, or maybe it's just like the weight of stardom and criticism at
he hasn't been only eating meat for a long time, right? Like maybe somebody slipped him a crouton. And he's like, he just went the fuck off.
Slipped him a crouton.
Yeah.
Dude, that's all it takes. Well, he was talking once on the podcast about he got a hold of, what is it, like apple cider vinegar or something like that? He drank it and he was sick for a month or something.
God.
It's something weird like that. He's just, he's a fascinating guy, and he's a super smart guy. And I think a lot of super smart, fascinating people, they could be right and they can be wrong. They can go down uncomfortable, bad road, like maybe unnecessary roads, and then they can go down righteous roads. And it's just like this kind of the same energy that brings them into both places, just like riffing. Yeah. You know, sometimes you riff on an idea and it just doesn't work.
But that's the, you know, it's like that's one of the reasons I always what I respected about him is the same thing I respected about Sam Harris and Neil deGrasse Tyson and Michio Kaku and all these people. It's like the people that are truly intelligent in that way.
Yes.
There's a calmness about them because there's a certainty in their knowledge.
Yes.
That brings about this calmness. Like, you ever watch Sam Harris? Like, Sam Harris would go to fucking, because I disagree with a lot of shit he says, but he'll go to a fucking synagogue and debate the rabbi.
Yeah.
In front of the flock. Not, you know, no Sam Harris fans there.
Right.
You know, and it's like, and never raise his voice. Never sound angry. Never have a condescending tone or nothing.
No, he's the best at that. He's the very best at that.
And Jordan Peterson used to be like, you know.
Yeah.
He would